Hi, I'm Mandeep Singh, founder of mandeeps.com, and in this video we'll be working with the PayPal Express extension for our live forms module. So let's get started. I have a instance of DNN9 and I have a page with live forms already on it, and we will set up this live forms to check us out through PayPal Express. Now before we do that, we need some information for integration from PayPal, so I'm going to head over to developer.paypal.com. so make sure you go ahead and do that and log in with your PayPal credentials. Once you're logged in, you go to dashboard and you go to my apps and credentials and make sure you have a REST API app created. Now it's very simple, just hit create app and give it a name. It could be anything you like, and you're done. Once you do that, you will have the app credentials, and in my case I have already created one here. If I click on it, I see my client ID and I can see my secret key as well. So we need these two pieces of information to set up our integration. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump over to live forms and let's quickly create a form. So I'm just gonna say, to keep this demo simple, I'm just gonna add a simple drop down here, and in this drop down I'm just gonna say that I'm selling 3 different products. Let's say iPhone 6, iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. Now I could specify a value for these right here. I have the option to use a text value combination as we see here. So what I'm gonna do is also give it a price. So I'm gonna say iPhone 6 is, let's say, $500 and iPhone 7 is $750 and Plus is $850. Okay, I'm just gonna call this right here products, and then I can have a default one selected, let's say iPhone 6, and I'm going to just keep the demo very simple for right now, and then we'll add on to it as we move forward. So someone can simply choose a product and then pay for it through PayPal. So let's set up that up. I'm going to go to options and I'm going to go to actions, and I'm going to say when someone submits this form, we're going to go ahead and process a payment through PayPal Express. So right here we need to give this an action name. I'm just going to call this PayPal for now, and we need to get our client ID and client secret as I demonstrated earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my values in here, and since this is not live environment, this is sandbox, go ahead and check that. Whenever you want to go live, you simply go back to your developer.paypal and simply change the sandbox to live environment, and that's it. And you're going to come back here and uncheck the sandbox option. Alright, so now that I've set this up, we're saying that the currency is United States dollars, USD, and the transactions is going to be a one-time payment. We have the option to do recurring payments as well, but there's a separate video that will cover that, so we'll go ahead and skip this for now. We need to specify the item information, so I'm going to say that the item name is the product's drop-down's text and the amount is the value. Now you can similarly give it a description, SKU, or create a quantity, drop down, and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and skip this for now to keep this demo as brief as possible. We will go ahead and work with the tax and shipping it momentarily, but let's just go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to close out of this and save and return. So that's it. Technically, if I hit submit here, this will redirect me to PayPal, and I should be able to process this payment out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say I want an iPhone 7, and I'm going to go ahead and submit, and this will now redirect us to PayPal to complete the payment process. And here it is. Now what I'm going to do is I already have test accounts to test this out, so I'm going to log in, and just so you know, you can create these accounts yourself. Again, going back to the developer, you have the option to go to accounts here and create as many test accounts as you like with different configurations. So I'm going to go back here and log in as one of my test accounts and process this payment out. As you can see, the total there on the top is $750. It's for an iPhone 7, and I'm going to go ahead and complete this payment. and that's it. It says thank you, your submission has been received. So this was a default thank you message, but what happened is the payment went through. So let's go ahead and take care of that first. When I log in, you can see that one submission was made, and here in the actions I can see that the PayPal Express action, the first it was redirected to PayPal, and that was done. And then if you scroll down, you will see that the action was successfully completed, and we have all the data in the world right here that PayPal returned to us, including the ID, the transaction, the total amount, and so forth. So one of the things we want to do is show to the user that the sale was processed successfully, and your order is now complete. You probably want to show them this ID and some other information as well. So let's go ahead and take a look how we can do that. So we have the option to use any of this data from here in our messages. So what I'm going to do is just kind of quickly show you how the tokens are. For example, and I'm going to show this really quick in a notepad. Let's say you wanted to show the ID up here on the top in a message or an email. So you could simply use the action name. In my case, that was PayPal, and then whatever you see here. So it would be ID. So that would be the token name. And let's say if I wanted to show the email address, it would be PayPal, right here, the first hierarchy, which is pair. Then it's going to be dot, and then I see there's another hierarchy called pair info, so it's going to be pair underscore info, and then it's going to be email, so dot email. So that would be my token name. So if you're not sure, you can collapse this always and then open it one by one to figure that out. So you're going into pair, then you're going into pair info, and then the email. So similarly, if I wanted to really show the sale ID here, it would be, if you go back and collapse these, it would be transactions. In transactions we had related resources, in there we have sale, so it would be PayPal transactions dot related resources dot sale dot ID. So that would be my token. Okay, so having explained this, let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to go back to design. I'm going to say in action, I'm going to add another action here, and that is called show message. So I'm just going to say order placed here on the top. I'm going to say thank you, your order was placed successfully. And I could show an email address, I can show a transaction ID, and so forth. So I'm just going to show these two right now just to demonstrate. So I'm going to take these token and this one as well and show that here. And so the key here is that we only want to show this message if the order was actually successfully placed. So we're going to say only execute this if the immediately prior action was successful. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. So similarly, for whatever reason a payment does not go through, we can say order failed, and I can say there was an error processing. Please contact us to complete the transaction. Alright, so and this one we can say only show if any of the prior actions failed. Okay, so we've set that up and we're good to go. And remember the PayPal here that I'm using in the tokens, this is nothing but the action name right here, which you decide when you were setting up the action. That was this right here. So okay, so now actions are set up. Now I can go ahead and test this out, but I want to do one more thing, and that is to add tax and shipping. So what I'm going to do is simply add two more fields here, and I'm going to say that the shipping is standard, it's $15. So I'm just going to go ahead and call it shipping, and I'm going to say there's a default value of $15. And since it is always the same, I'm just going to hide this so no one needs to see this. And then I'm going to say the tax is calculated depending on what product they're buying, and that is, let's say, 8%. And I'm going to also hide this field because I don't need the end user to see this, although you could set it up, but that's outside the scope of this demo, so I will skip that up for now. You can take a look at some of the other demos we have with the with this action right here, specifically on form view binder update a single field via JavaScript. So I'm going to still use this because I want to set up the tags, but we'll just leave it there. So I'm going to say calculate tax, and I'm going to say the tax field simply needs to be whatever the product's value is times 1.08, and what that would do is set up the tax field. So let's go ahead and save this, and I'm gonna unhide the text really quick so I can see that my form's working correctly, and then we'll hide it back again. So let's go back, and we can see that I didn't set it up correctly. I said 1.08, which means the total amount and not the tax, so I'm glad I checked this. So let's go back really quick, and what we're gonna do is fix that and simply go here, edit it, and it's not 1.08, it's going to be 0.08. so I'll just go ahead and hit update and verify again, and now it's correct. $40 for a iPhone 6, iPhone 7 is $60, and iPhone 7 Plus is $68. So that's working correctly. I can go ahead and hide that. I don't necessarily need to show this to my end user, and I'm going to go back to my original PayPal action as well. And what I'm going to do here is let PayPal know that I also want to charge tax and shipping. So simply I'm going to go ahead and say here's the tax amount and here's the shipping amount. Alright, awesome. So let's go ahead and test this out. I'm going to say I want to buy an iPhone 7 Plus. I'm going to hit submit. Now this will take me to PayPal to process. Okay, now that I'm here on PayPal, I can take a look that I selected iPhone 7 Plus for $850. The tax was $68. The shipping was $15. So the total is $933 here. I'm gonna go ahead and process this payment and hit just log in with my test account. Okay, so this is interesting. For whatever reason, PayPal is saying they cannot process this payment, and that could be because I don't have funds in my account or whatever reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit return to merchant, and as we set up the actions on our live forms, it should show us that the transaction did not go successfully, and we should see the message that we had set up that there was an error processing the order, and that's what it's doing. So that worked great. So let me go ahead and also do a transaction that is successful and show you the tokens that we used. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this iPhone 6 now. And we now see a thank you, your order was placed successfully message with the email address and transaction ID. Now if I go back into my manage, I do see that the original message, original transaction we did, and then this transaction that got declined, and if we go here we see that we were redirected to PayPal, and then finally what happened was that the PayPal action failed because the user cancelled. The process didn't went through. We had to return back to merchant. Because the user was cancelled, we did not show the order placed message, and instead we showed the failed message in that case. And the one we're looking at right now, the most recent message, we were redirected to PayPal, and then it was success. Because it was success, order placed message was shown, and order failed message was not shown. That's it for this short video. Well, it's certainly longer than the most videos we've done, but if you have any other questions or concerns, or if there's anything we missed out here, then please feel free to open a support ticket. Thank you so much for watching this video.